Welcome back to Containment Crochet. This is lesson 6. We're moving on from the chain, the single crochet, switching rows. Now we're going to do a border, but I'll talk about a couple things real fast. Okay, if you notice how mine is a little curly, it'll curl up, it'll curl down, it'll stick like that, and it's not quite a square. Well, that's okay, because when you form them a little better, it forms, on camera, Crystal, it forms your square, okay? Now, something else of note, you can count your rows pretty easily. First row here is your chain, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on to 15. I did have stitch markers in there to help me remember which row was which, but I took them out for the video. Now, if you lose count, because most patterns will want you to actually count your stitches. If you lose count of your stitches for that specific row, you can count them very easily. You see these heart V's? Let's move it a little closer, see if I can get it zoom. There we go. The heart V's, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches right there. That's how you count your stitches. Now, we are done with our 15 rows. And if it doesn't quite look like this, that's okay. I've been crocheting for quite a while. You are perfectly fine. If you want it to look like this, well, you got to practice, kiddos or adults or whoever's watching. I'm specifically talking to my crochet kids. So if I say kiddos, you know I'm talking to them. Yeah, the more you practice, the more you get the muscle memory, and the less frustrated you'll get with how it turns out. You'll get more uniform looks, less missing holes. And even still today with me, after crocheting for about, 8 years now, I still skip holes. I still have to go back. But now we are working on our border. If you notice, this end has a really nice clean border. This end has a really nice clean border. But these sides are just like all wonky and messed up looking. So we're going to fix that. We are going to chain 1. And then we're going to single crochet all the way around. And every time you get to a corner, you're going to chain 1. Single crochet. Single crochet. Single crochet. All right, now you guys get the hint. I'll be right back when I hit a corner. Okay, I am at my first corner. So what I'm going to do is stick that in there and single crochet, and then I'm going to chain 1 and make sure my work is turned. Now, this I left out because there are multiple ways that you can finish off your yarn. For this specific pattern, what we're going to do, so for this one, we're going to tuck our tail so that it hides in there. So we chained 1, we're going to single crochet again, and then we're going to make sure that our tail is lined where we're about to crochet, so that we're crocheting over the tail, so it will be stitched into the work. Sorry, keep it on camera, Crystal. See there? You're going to want to hit every stitch to make sure that you get a nice, uniform, clean look all the way around. And notice how that tail has disappeared on this end? That's what you want. You want the tail hidden, because if you cut the tail too short, then what's going to happen is it's going to unravel when you try to wash or handle. So you always want it tucked in. I always leave a nice long tail so I have plenty to sew in or fold in. Now I usually do this when I start the pattern. That's just my preference, but this was a nice easy way to do this one since we're already making a border. And you go as long as you possibly can with it. Oops. There we go. I need to back my camera up. Maybe that'll help. Okay, we're at another corner. We're going to chain 1. Then we crochet again. Still tucking that tail. I love to tuck it as long as it'll tuck, to make sure that it's nice and secure. I'm kind of one of those that is paranoid. I've lost a lot of work because I didn't secure the tails. After hours and hours, I would go wash it the first time and it just unravels, which is heartbreaking. So make sure you get enough tail. You don't want super, super long tail, but you want a good amount of tail so that you can stitch or tuck or sew it in. All right. Let's hurry up and finish up this. Oops. And if you notice, I lose my crochet quite a bit. So all you got to do is just take your time. Some of you guys might eventually be faster than me because I'm a very slow stitcher. That is wonderful. I love it when the students surpass the master. All right, now we're done with this part. Give me 1 second to get my other supplies and I'll show you what's next. All right, so we need scissors. I got these little scissors for like 20 cents off AliExpress. We're going to cut a nice bit of tail. And now look at our beautiful pattern. You can box it, which is basically getting it wet and setting it up with some pins inside of it so it actually will stay square. After it dries, it'll be more likely to stay that way. But right now, this is just what we're going to do. So here's your former working end. Now we're just going to get it to focus. There we go. Pull it through. There we go. Here's where your yarn needles come in handy. You're going to take your yarn needle, thread it through the eye, and then you're going to sew this end into your work, just as if you were sewing any other kind of sewing project. Instead of, because you can't really tuck the tail when there's nothing, when you're done with your project. So you weave it in as many times as possible, making sure that tail is not going to go anywhere. In one way, back around the other way. Oops, I lost my tail. So yeah, always remember, kiddos, I know some of you guys are getting really frustrated with, dropping your yarn or, things like that. It's okay. I drop my yarn too. It happens. And then here is that old tail. We can trim off that to hide it. And make sure you're trimming just the tail, not the rest of the pattern, the project. And there you go. Oh, there's a little bit sneaking out on this side. There we go. Yeah, my scissors need to be replaced. I got a good 2 years out of 25-cent scissors, so I'm happy with them. Okay, so that's usually pretty good. Like I said, I'm overachiever with tucking, so I'll normally go through more. But now you've got it sewn in a few places, nice and wrapped, nice and weaved through. And there you go, your first coaster with single crochet. Remember, y'all, if you have any questions at all, let me know. I am here for you. If I need to make a different video, different color, or maybe slow down my steps a little bit, just let me know. So there you go. Your first coaster, single color, single crochet, plus chain. And see y'all in the next lesson.